interwebs, Joeypals here. I bet the title of this video has you slightly confused since before this I was only putting out Pokemon content, so let me explain. In June, I'll be streaming for a week in a row from June 14th through June 20th, hopefully at 6 PM EST for 4 hours a day, though that's still up in the air due to me not knowing if I'll get the days off. For the stream, I will be doing 5 games. In Pokemon X, I will be doing shiny hunting using the Pokeradar and chain fishing. In Omega Ruby, I will be using the Dex Nav. In Kid Icarus Uprising, I will be playing through the chapters as far as I can for 2 days, with the footage being archived and uploaded after this copyright strike is over. If I can't finish Uprising in 2 days of streaming, I'll finish the game in subsequent streams following the week. Same goes for the 4th game I'll be streaming, which is Fire Emblem Fates. I'll be playing the Revelations route, but playing it like if it were Conquest, so no grinding to be had. I also won't be playing with the children. On the final day, I'll be doing viewer battles on Pokemon Showdown after showcasing a program that I come from, Pokemon Online. So yeah, June 14th through June 20th at 6 PM EST. Hope to see you guys there! Now, onto this video's content. Kid Icarus Uprising is a very strong contender for my pick as favorite video game of all time. It's chock full of amazing humor, the gameplay is great, and you have the same girl who voices Starfire on Teen Titans, Hynden Walsh, doing almost the exact same voice as a goddess who wants to wipe out humanity. It's just amazing! My favorite part of this game, of course, is the characters, and how deep some of these goofballs can be. That's why for today's video, I'll be counting down my top 10 favorite non-major Kid Icarus characters. For the purpose of this video, I'll be defining major characters as anyone you play as, or anyone who has a presence in the game screen, not the dialogue screen. As such, Pit, Palutena, Dark Pit, Medusa, Viridi, Pyron, Dintos, and Hades are all out. Of course, this is my own personal opinion, so please don't get too upset if your favorites don't make it on the list. With that out of the way, let's jump through Skyworld's doors and get into the list. Number 10. Twinbillows. Firing up the top of our list is the two-headed fiery hell puppy that isn't named Houndoom. Appearing in the original Kid Icarus at the end of World 1, Twinbillows' bite is almost as harsh as his bark. Twinbillows can fire off flamethrowers from its mouth and lunge at you at any given moment in Uprising, requiring you to stay on your toes if you wish to come out as the victor and not end up as Fried Angel. What I like most about Twinbillows is, despite being one of the bosses that can't talk, Twinbillows has enough of a personality that you don't feel too bad for fighting it first. He's big, ferocious, and just wants to play for your corpse once he's done cooking you. Adorable, right? Now, let's get Medusa's mutt out of the way and go into number 9. At number 9, we have the Space Kraken. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I saw this thing at the end of Chapter 8, and I almost busted out laughing because of how the captain just got gobbled up out of nowhere. That giggling quickly went away though after the Kraken let out its true fury. At the beginning, he has 4 tentacles that try to smack you from the underside of a ship, which you can easily smack down. The real challenge though is in the fight against the Kraken's head, which will shoot water balls and eye beams at you. What I remember most from this battle is its main attack, which is swelling up its head before trying to bring it down on you like a hammer. I was so thrown off by the attack, I jumped back a little bit in shock. It's that terrifying. The Space Kraken may not have showed much, but he's a pretty strong boss battle, that's why he's taking my number 9 spot. At number 8, we have Cragalanche. I'm not sure why I like the non-talking bosses so much, but when you have limited options and there's more than 2 silent characters, at least one of them is going to make it onto the list. Cragalanche, while not being the most challenging of boss battles considering this is your first fight after Medusa, is easily one of my favorite boss battles due to his running gap. Basically, what Cragalanche is a golem that can lift itself above Red Rock's mediocrity and take names with all sorts of crazy tricks. His only problem? He has a little weak spot on his booty. This is pointed out by the game's characters multiple times, and it's done with enough spacing to still be funny when Dintos makes fun of it in Chapter 24. Cragalanche also happens to be under Viridi's army, and as a personal fan of Viridi, having such a fun rock to toy with is very exciting. At number 7, we have the Hewdraw. Coming in as the first speaking character on this list, but three-headed Hydra acts very much like a set of triplets. Sure, there's a bond, but there's going to be plenty of bickering over the tiniest of things. The Hydra, much like Twin Billows, appeared back in the original Kid Icarus, though it wasn't nearly as potent as Twin Billows or another certain Castle Guard in terms of power and strength. Where Hydra shines above the rest, quite frankly, is its ability to speak, and thus being able to showcase a personality or three because of it. Its boss battle is also pretty unique too, having to fight the beast from afar and trying to get it out of the water to land some hits. It's a very trying fight on patience, but will very easily be worthwhile. So, that's 4 down and we finally have a speaking character. Who's up next? Number 6, the Chaoskin. Hydra can step aside, because while it may have 3 personalities, the Chaoskin has its own dimension. The Chaoskin, which controlled Palutena for a full 3 years after the defeat of Eorum, is a parasite in every sense of the word. It doesn't create anything or help anyone it latches onto. Instead, it just sucks away all essence for its own personal gain. The Chaoskin makes it to the spot simply for how creepy it is as a being, flying around as quick as a dragonfly while having the looks of a wheezing, that did heroin instead of cigarettes today. It's just a very unappealing creature to look at, but it's evil in every sense of the word. And you know how the saying goes, who doesn't love a good bad guy? At number 5, we have a tie between Dark Lord Gal and the Chariot Master. As a whole, I don't think we've learned enough about these two characters, but the dialogue that we were given is plenty to draw the finishing lines. That might be considered an odd statement given the length of Chariot Master's chapter, but most of his statements until the end fight are pretty vague or along the lines of, "Get off my lawn, you stupid brat!" Likewise, Gal didn't get any dialogue until you started fighting her, but you get enough of her backstory from Magnus. As a result, both of them have this very mystical, alluring personality that draws you in and makes you want to learn more. Unfortunately, you only get to talk with Chariot Master once without repeating chapters, whereas Gal returns for a moment in chapter 24. But you aren't even paying attention to what she's saying because you just went through 3 bosses, extremely buffed enemies, and just a whole bunch of madness after thinking you'd be done after taking down the Kraken for a second time. I'd love to see them both expanded, and they are taking my number 5 spot together for now as a result of their hidden personalities. Number 4, Arlon. Arlon as a whole is a pretty cool, chill dude. He has a personality along the lines of a British royal family's butler. Very proper, always at the ready, and always willing to follow his master's orders. This shows true in his dialogue during his chapter, which shows he wishes to talk it out instead of fight, but he must follow Mistress Veridi's orders. As calm and collected as he is, he can be really damn creepy. For anyone who's actually paid attention to Arlon during his boss battle knows how terrifying he can be, from his glowing red eye to trying to lash out in the dark of a night. For all you know, all the time you're trying to find him, he's trying to build Cosby a poor Mimicutie. It's all very unsettling, but it does make him stand out. However, the 3 personalities above him are much, much bigger. Speaking of bigger, at number 3, we have Thanatos. Hold on to your huff hats, because this entry is H for amazing! Thanatos, being the god of death, plays very much against his character's supposed job. He's very carefree, very lax, and very goofy. This serves as a very nice contrast to Dark Pit's chapter prior to Thanatos', making for a much more enthralling experience. This god of death simply just wants to kick back and relax as you fall to your death, and nothing more. His dialogue also serves as a nice contrast for every other boss's dialogue, as he goes around just making silly remarks while the rest of the enemies are like, "We must pluck the snot-nosed dweeb out of the sky." Add in a unique boss battle including an Atlas foot form, along with blades that remind me of Fire Emblem, and you have an amazing boss. Coming in at number 2, we have Pandora. Choosing between Pandora and my number 1 slot was a tad tricky, but I ended up going with my gut as they are both amazing characters. Pandora, another castle guard in the original Kid Icarus who came after Twin Billows and Hydra, is a very interesting character. Why she became a fireball is unknown, but she's still around nonetheless. Pandora has a very snarky and sassy personality, always taunting Pit as he makes his way through her labyrinth of deceit. Pandora also has the luxury of being the boss in 2 chapters, coming back much later in the story as Amazon Pandora at the Rewind Screen. She's also quite funny, fully participating in a joke about the driving section of her chapter that plays off beautifully. I'd read off the dialogue myself, but I think I'll just let Chuggaaconroy's Let's Play do the talking for me.
What's an exo-tank doing here anyway?
I wanted to get my driver's license, so I looked up the parking lot to practice in. But then it hit me. How am I supposed to steer without hands?
How'd you build a parking lot without hands?
Hard work and determination.
Wait, does the mirror copy the reflection's soul too? Or just the body?
That's a good question. Maybe Pandora will tell us. Do I look like a strategy guide? In case you haven't noticed. This isn't the Ask Auntie Pandora hour!
And finally, at number 1, we have Phosphora. I don't know what it is about this woman, but I want her alongside Pit as a playable character in an adventure of some kind someday. Phosphora, working under Verity, is a very quirky girl that comes across much like an older sister would. She's slightly condescending of Pit's maturity and doesn't give a damn about Palutena, going so far as to call her ma'am. Now, I may not be a woman, but the one thing I do know is you don't call a woman ma'am in a sassy tone, because otherwise, all the weave is going to start flying. Phosphora just has this attitude that screams she doesn't actually care about anyone around her, making for a paralyzingly polar personality. She does have a soft side, though, coming back in Chapter 20 to help you to take down the controlled Palutena by holding onto the light meteorite and clearing out a couple enemies in the process. She's a fully developed character with a personality that reminds me very much of some of my family. That's why she's taken me by shock. I'm just gonna suck with the puns now. Phosphora, here's your gold medal. Verity's fortune better match. Well, that's it for today's video. If you like what you saw, please drop a like and subscribe to see more upcoming material. If you want to see my last video where I talked about some of my stories with shiny Pokemon, please click the box with the Esper on the left or click on the link down below in the description. Twitch streaming is coming in less than a few weeks, and I can't wait to broadcast to you guys. This is Joeypals, signing out.